Hello, Love Your Body Tribe. How is everyone? As always, I'm so excited to be hopping on here and doing a live video. And I'm curious for you, how are you doing since we completed the Love Your Body 5-day challenge? I've been having some conversations with some of you here and there, and it seems like a lot shifted. A lot transformed for you during those 5 days, and so I want to know, how are you doing? What's alive for you? What's present for you? And if you are watching live, I would love to know who's here. Give me a heart, give me a like, give me a comment. You know that I love when these videos are really interactive and fun, so please let me know if you are watching live. And today's video I'm really excited to do, and obviously the title of today's event is Celebrations, right? So we're going to talk about celebrating and why celebrating is so important. And you know, there's a lot of energy this time of year around, okay, well, what's next, right? What's coming in 2019? What are we gonna shift? What are we gonna change? How can I be different in 2019, right? But I think that sometimes we forget that in order to get to the place that we want to be, we need to acknowledge where the steps that we've accomplished along the way, right? No matter how small they are. Hi Lolita, hi Josh, thank you for tuning in. So acknowledgement of ourselves and these small steps that we're taking to get us to where we want to be is so incredibly important. And I want to create the space for us to celebrate today. So before you throw all of your energy into the 2019, to reflect back on 2018 and really see how far you've come. Hi Carly. So celebrations is a practice that I do with my clients, and those of you who are coaches also know that celebrating is something that's really important in the work that we're doing with our clients, right? So whenever I start off a session with a client, I always say to them, what can we celebrate, or what's gone well for you over that past week? And sometimes I might hear from them like, oh, well, not a lot has gone well, you know, I'm this and this and this happened, and I didn't do this, I didn't follow through on that action step. And what I always say is that when we're in that place of, well, this is what I didn't do, or this is what I did wrong, we create more of that in our lives. However, when we acknowledge and celebrate even the smallest win, we're bringing ourselves that much closer into alignment with what it is we desire. And so that's why celebrating is so important. Hi Karen, thank you for tuning in. We're gonna hear from Karen in a little bit. So for this video, what I wanted to do was just spend a few minutes sharing with you what I'm choosing to celebrate in 2018. And then we're actually going to bring on two of our fabulous members of this tribe, Karen Mitchell Grant and Alicia Burzins, and they are going to share with us what they are celebrating. So a few things I'm celebrating in 2018 is, first and foremost, this group. So when I created this group, I had no idea what was going to come from it. I had no idea that I was going to be running these challenges, that there would be this community and this support and this solidarity. Of course, it was something that I desired, but I didn't understand or realize the magnitude of what could be created and still can be created through this group. So I am absolutely celebrating the co-creation between me and all of you of this Love Your Body group. I'm also celebrating this being the best year in my business so far. So since I've been in business for 3 years, my business has continued to grow, and this has been the best year in my business so far. So in terms of the impact that I'm making, the clients that I'm working with, and the abundance that I'm welcoming in, I'm celebrating this being the best year in my business. And what that shows me is that this message is really getting out there, that people are really needing and wanting this new paradigm when it comes to their health, to shift away from the diet mentality and diet culture and restriction and really focusing on self-love and intuitive eating. People are wanting that. And so that's a testament to me in that there's a shift happening in the collective consciousness, and that is absolutely something to celebrate. I'm celebrating my own continued growth and expansion as I continue to work with my mentors and my coaches. I'm celebrating saying yes to my desire to adopt a puppy, even though it's a ton of work. And yeah, it's taking a lot of energy, more than I could have ever imagined, but it's also more rewarding than I could have ever imagined. So I'm celebrating saying yes to that desire. And one of my biggest celebrations is launching the Love Your Body 8-week program. It has been a deep desire of mine to create an online course. And it was something that, for a long time I limited myself and said, I can't do that thing yet, but I actually said yes to it and I created it, and it completed this week. So the first round, the first cohort of participants finished this week, and it's been such an incredible journey, and I'm so grateful for it. And it's something that I'm celebrating and excited to see what wants to come as this course continues to grow. And so those are things that I am celebrating, and I want to hear from each of you. So there are a bunch of you watching live right now. What are you celebrating? What can you acknowledge about yourself in 2018, even if it seems really small, even if it's just, I got out of bed most days in 2018. What can you acknowledge so that you can stay in that energy and continue to move forward and take those necessary steps to get you to where you want to be? So go ahead and post that in the comments, and I want to actually bring on some of our participants to share what they are celebrating. So Alicia and Karen both participated in the Love Your Body 8-week program, and they're going to share with you what brought them to this journey and what they're celebrating from it, and just a little bit about their experience. So yeah, so let's go ahead and, so Alicia, I'm gonna invite you on first, and let's see if I can do that. You know how I am with this technology. So Alicia, I am going to see if I can do this. So Alicia, for some reason, it's not giving me an option to add you right now. So what I'm gonna have you double check is that you are on your phone and that you have your phone turned sideways. And if you could confirm in the comment section if that is true for you. And then in the meantime, while we wait for that, I'm actually gonna go ahead and do the same for Karen. So Karen, are you on your phone and are you holding it sideways? Because I'm actually not seeing you pop up here as an option either. Oh, technology. I'm seeing that I can add some of you, but for some reason, not Karen, not Alicia. Oh, so funny. So yeah, Karen and Alicia, if you can confirm that you are on your phone and that you are holding your phone sideways, and that way I can add you. Apologize for the silence, everyone. This is what happened during the wrap party too. For some reason, yeah, it wasn't working. And also, Karen and Alicia, if you see on your end that you can request to join, that's also an option too. So if you see that button that allows you to request to join, I might be able to actually add you there as well. Okay, so Karen, I'm seeing that you are on your phone. And Karen, do you see an option to, oh, there you are. Okay. So, okay, Karen, I can bring you on. And, okay, there, wait, I see Alicia now. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, hold on one second. Here we go. Okay, let's see if that works. Bring Alicia camera. So Alicia, I'm adding you. And, yeah!
Yay, we made it!
We did it! Yes! How are you, Alicia?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. So Alicia, I would love you to just by sharing with everyone who you are. So tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, what you do.
Let me just, I was on both. I was on my laptop and on my phone, and I didn't go live on my phone. So that was the problem. So just so you know, in the future, you have to go live on your phone too. Yeah, Alicia Bearsons. I'm a certified health and life coach in Mesa, Arizona. And my specialty that I focus on is stress, anxiety, overwhelm, and then all of the different health and wellness things that manifest because of stress and anxiety and overwhelm. So, yeah, digestive issues and anxiety, all that fun stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so often when I'm working with clients and they're going through things in their body, and I ask them, like, oh, well, okay, like, well, why do you think that's happening? And they're like, well, this food and that food. And I'm like, well, tell me a little bit about your stress level. Like, what's happening for
Yeah,
you in your stress? They're like, oh, well, I'm always stressed. I'm like,
right,
well, let's look at that. You
right.
don't realize how incredibly important it is. So, your work that you're doing, Alicia, is so powerful. So, thank you for what you
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
And
I
so I'd love for you to share a little bit about you and your journey with loving your body. And you signed up for the first launch of the Love Your Body 8-week program. So can you share with us a little bit about what brought you to say yes to signing up for the program?
Well, I've been following you for a while now. I at least a year, I think, and I've done several of your challenges, and I just knew that this was work that I needed to do at a deeper level. And so I knew that the things that you say, the way that you are as a coach, the way you show up, that resonated with me in a positive way. I have found that there are, and not that triggering is a bad thing, but sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I'm triggered by some of the way things are said by other people. And I'm like, that's not somebody I could work with at this time because the trigger in me is saying, stop.
Yeah.
So whatever it is with the way that you present yourself, it's very reassuring and honoring, and it doesn't feel shaming. So that was really important to me. It felt like an easy yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So and that's so common too. It's I think it's easy for coaches to get people by triggering them, like triggering
Hmm.
that like sore spot and like poking them in it. And there's a time and a place for that. But to
Yeah,
be able to say yes to something from a place of compassion and not feeling triggered,
right,
it's to me it's more sustainable and it's more loving and it builds more trust. So
right.
I'm glad that you had that experience for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd love to hear a little bit about how the journey was for you. So what can you celebrate, or what did you get out of the?
I think at this point, you know, just having the awareness. I mean, I'm celebrating having the awareness around this topic of a new way of thinking about my body and diet culture that I've never been introduced to without having you delivering that the way that you do. It's nothing I was ever aware of, and the freedom and the liberation that that has given me with being able to reframe some of my thinking and beliefs that have kept me stuck and not in a place of self compassion and nurturing of myself along the way. All of these years when the diet roller coaster, the weight roller coaster, and the celebrating the attention of others and then avoiding the attention of others. So going through that repeatedly um, throughout my life, during different seasons of my life, it just feels good to start to be able to look at things differently and tune into my body and what my body needs for nourishment rather than what I've always believed I should be doing for doing it the right way for the result that I'm really desiring. So,
Yeah. Oh, that's such a huge point you're hitting on right there is the listening to our bodies,
mhm,
because so often, because we are all socialized into diet culture, we learn to outsource our intuition. We learn to outsource, like, listening to our
Right.
body. To diet culture tells us, well, no, you should eat this and you should eat that and you should do this. But is that actually truly in alignment with what our bodies want and need, and in alignment with our values and our own self-care, right? So
Right.
this is about, I love that you said that you're experiencing so much more freedom and liberation. And the word that I also love to use is autonomy, right? Like I get to listen with a sense of autonomy, like make choices for my body in that way,
Mm-hmm.
that aren't influenced by diet culture and what diet culture says we should do or should look like.
Right. Well, I think one of the things that was a huge awakening for me, I've promoted ketogenic eating for the last 3 years because it was something I was really successful with. Um, but what I have learned recently is that's most likely the cause of the digestive issues and the SIBO and all the things that I've been experiencing and having to work really hard at healing as of late. Because my digestive tract was not prepared for all the fiber and the fermentable vegetables that you have to be able to digest if you're eating ketogenic. So
Yeah.
it was a huge, huge thing for me when I'm like, well, but it's causing me to lose weight, but it also caused me to be very sick. So it just forced me to look at what we do and the way that we do it very differently, because if we're not listening to our body, which I was in the ER with diverticulitis during that time, so and I continued to eat that way, so I was so set on losing the weight because it was working that I was refusing to even be open to the possibility that the way that I was eating was causing the problem. And the doctor said, no, it's not. So I just went with that and kept doing it. So I learned a lot about myself that started to make me feel like, okay, if I was so adamant that this way of eating was how I should be eating because it's working, and then I found out that it wasn't, then what else might be not correct in the way that I'm thinking? So it sort of just
Yeah.
opened up the possibilities that anything could be right.
Yeah.
Anything could be right. It just depends on my body, and the same is true for other people. So it was
Yes.
a tough lesson for me.
Mm, that's and thank you, Alicia, so much for sharing that. I can imagine that that was really painful for you, and sort of also speaks to how our culture puts this emphasis on weight loss, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
well, this works because you're losing weight, but it's actually damaging to your health. And,
Yes.
you know, you're the second client of mine who has had that experience with ketogenic diet specifically. Like I have another client who went through all of these hormone issues and lost her period and all of those types of things because of the ketogenic diet for weight loss, and not really focusing on what it was actually doing to their physical health,
Right.
instead of the outward appearance. So it's a hard lesson to learn, but there's so much freedom on the other side of it, um, even if it's painful. Like what
Right.
we always talk about in the course is awareness, right? Like
Right.
we're creating awareness around this so that we can create a new experience.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm really celebrating the awareness. My
Yeah.
mind is just completely drawn in a completely new and liberating way of thinking around food and diet and who I'm being when I'm eating, or who I'm being when I'm around others who are projecting out some of that diet culture or that body image stuff. So yeah, it's interesting, and definitely a new way of being.
Yes, I love it. Oh, well, thank you, Alicia, for sharing all of that. And I'm curious, as we're completing here, before we call Karen on, would you be open to sharing, like, what do you feel is next, or what's possible for you because you've created this awareness?
Well, I think because I'm learning in other parts of my life how to be more resilient to other things, I'm taking that learning into this. And what I know is that we can't change what we don't acknowledge. And pushing away diet culture and body image culture and that billion-dollar industry or multi-billion-dollar industry, and allowing that to decide for me who I am, um, is no longer serving me. And learning to be resilient to that and learning how to coach myself through those thoughts, which that's where anxiety has crept in often, for me. It's definitely an anxiety trigger. So I don't want to be seen in pictures. I think I mentioned in the group, my son got engaged, and my instant thought was, oh my God, I've got to lose weight because I don't want to ruin the pictures in the wedding. And so even in being immersed in this work, that's still my go-to. That's instantly where my brain goes to. So having the awareness of that in that moment, and I don't think that I would have even noticed that had I not done this work. It just would have been who I was being, and I would not have paid attention to it. But at least now I have the awareness, and having the awareness then allows me to rewire my brain to start to think differently. And as I've worked intently on my health over the last 6 months, I know that when my body is ready to start shredding the weight, it's going to allow me to do that because I've healed all the other parts that I had damaged for so many years. So, yeah. I don't know if I answered your question, but that's really what I'm taking away with this. I feel empowered.
Yes, you feel empowered, what this opened up for you is a whole new awareness on who you were being, so that you could make another.
Right.
Ugh, so powerful, Alicia. Thank you so much for you shared. I hope that those of you who are listening got something out of this, and please follow Alicia on Facebook if you don't already, because she just shares such amazing, vulnerable posts and content. And yeah, looking forward to continuing to be a part of your journey and watch what unfolds for you, Alicia.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Holly. And I'm so grateful for this work. It's life-changing, and you're an angel on earth. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much to me. Awesome. I think this is what I do to bring, okay, I'm clicking that button. Okay, awesome. And so now I have to find Karen. So inspiring, Alicia. Thank you for everything that you shared. And I am adding Karen, realizing that my phone is also crooked. Okay. And Karen should be there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am well. I'm good. Thank you.
Good. So, Karen, can you just introduce yourself and share a little bit about you and what you do and where you're from?
Okay, I'm in Dallas, Georgia, not Dallas, Texas. I'm also a health and life coach. I started the program probably in March of 2018. I was introduced to Holly because she came on as one of the guest speakers. And so I knew I had body image issues. And so I immediately joined her group, and I have not been disappointed yet. Yeah. Holly, you know I can talk. So I'm really going to have to reframe. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to be still. But I love so much of the things that we have done together. Not only have I done your 7-day and your 5-day and your 8-week challenge, I've also had you as my one-on-one coach. And through that work, I feel like I have lit up. I'm not the same person I was when I started, probably 5 months ago. I'm just not the same. And when I look back at that time, I can appreciate it. I can appreciate where I came from. But oh my God, I can't wait to see where I'm going. I like where I am right now, but I just know more and more is coming. Yeah.
Yes. Well, Karen, can you just share a little bit about where you were, right? Because you're talking about like you're a completely different person.
Completely different.
Yeah. So share a little bit like where you are, where you were to where
Well,
you are.
first of all, my generation, I'm 67. So my generation, the way I was brought up, you you kept quiet. You did not, you did not say how you feel. You did as you were told. And I often told this story about my grandmother who grew up during the Depression, and she had 12 children. So when we came to visit her for the summer, she wanted to make sure her grandkids got fed. And I didn't understand that at first. I just thought she was stuffing food into our mouths. And even though we were intuitive eaters with my mom, she was in her loving way. She was trying to make sure we had food. Before all the older people came and got, because it was a free range house. And so after I got that experience of eating, I had lost my ability to know when I was hungry and when I was full. And so then when I started doing the work with you, and we uncovered her intention was love, I was able to let that go. I no longer felt that I had to eat the way I had been eating, as if I was still living in the Depression. And so that was a major, major breakthrough. And I remember I've had so many breakthroughs, but the other breakthrough I had was one day I hadn't eaten all day and I was starving, and I ran into the house and I devoured the food. And when I talked to you, because I think I was scheduled to talk to you that day, and you said, your way of talking is so sweet, but it was, do you think you're hungry? And I went, oh,
Yeah.
I never thought that I might be hungry. So then I began the work of listening to my body, listening to what it was trying to tell me. I'm good. I'm thirsty. And I began to address those needs. But it just, and then there was a need that I didn't even know that I really had, you guys, and that was that I grew up very conservative, but I really felt sexy inside. And I just refused to allow that to come forth. And I just meant wearing shoes that maybe I would have thought were too risque. Maybe they had a strap around the ankle, or I just had so many restrictions on me. And with doing this mirror work and loving your body, I began to see that, man, I was the most tasteful person, and I started changing my wardrobe. Of course, you can't see it today, but it's code. But I started changing my wardrobe, looking at different things like, just the neckline and I posted on Facebook about my shoes, and I've stepped out of comfort zones because I never thought I was good enough. And then all of a sudden through this work, I realized how worthy I was of everything. And I always wanted to be a public speaker. And so I joined Toastmasters so that I could, and this is the beauty of this work. Once you start this work, you cannot stop, because I don't see how you can stop. You're either going to find a coach, or you're going to read more books, or you're going to expose yourself to more different opportunities and possibilities. And I feel like, I love analogies. So I feel like, popcorn, you put it in the oil and it gets hot, and then all of a sudden it busts open a little bit. And next thing you know, you have the kernel. It's really open. So I feel that way. I feel like the work that I started, I was so closed in. And then as I did more work, I've just busted through. And I wouldn't take, you know, there's an old song that says, I wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. Oh my God, no way. No way. I
Yeah.
love it. Love it.
Yes. Karen, you are just such a powerful example of the work, and that you are just so willing to challenge the belief systems and the assumptions that have been placed on you or that you've integrated from diet culture and beauty
Yeah.
culture, and just create a whole new experience
I
for
haven't been on a
yourself. Like,
scale. I can't tell you. I know there's a scale in
yes.
my house, but I don't need it.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yes, you don't need it. And
Now,
that's something that we talk about in the course is getting rid of that scale and considering what exactly it is that we are measuring when we are getting on the scale or we are measuring our waistline. What are we actually measuring? Are we measuring our self-worth? Are we measuring our ability to show up in the world and do the things that we want to do? And Karen is just
yeah.
busting through those limitations, and she's dressing in the way that she wants to dress. She's putting herself out there to be the public speaker that she wants to be, and
Mm-hmm.
she's getting massages. Like,
Oh my God. And I let
Karen,
a guy massage me twice. Twice. Can you believe that?
so beautiful
Yeah.
transformation. So proud of you.
Yeah.
And I would
See, I think the thing that we have to realize about, I was trying to explain this to someone the other day, is that when you come into these 5 and 7 day challenges, the one thing you know is that it's going to be changed. So it's almost like you want to call it a 5-day change, a 7-day change, because if you do the work, you're going to change. There's no way you can't change if you do the work. This last time with one group that I was in, there was 4 of us that got together as accountability partners so that we would make sure we showed up 100% every day. And we did it for 5 days. We showed up. And it was beautiful because each one of us changed. And each one of us wanted to change for each other. And that's the other thing that's so beautiful about this community. Everybody that's here, they're looking for that change. And when they see you change, you just motivate them all that much more to like, oh, all things are possible. And then you believe that it's beautiful. And the way you make shame, guilt, and blame stay out, it, beautiful, beautiful.
yes,
I told you I
that
could
is the
talk. So
key. It's like the only thing that we are getting rid of is guilt and the shame. Like,
that's right.
That's what we're getting rid
Yeah.
of. That's what we're detoxing
No
from
place.
our every fiber cell of our being. We are detoxing. No place here.
Yeah. No place here.
Well,
No
Karen,
place
you
here.
are such a
Thank you
shining
so much, Holly.
example.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome, Karen.
You got a great group.
Everything that you
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you for being a part of it and for everything that you share.
Yeah.
And yeah, follow Karen on her Facebook. Karen, go ahead and share your Facebook for people.
Yeah.
And
You can find me at Karen Mitchell Grant, and you can find me also at Coaching Change. Yeah.
so good. So good. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Karen.
you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Oh, thank you, both Alicia and Karen, for everything that you shared about your experience with the 8-week program. Alicia sharing that awareness and what that opened up for her in her life, and discovering these things about her health and her body, and for Karen beginning to own her sexy and tune into her hunger. It's just such powerful experiences. So thank you ladies, for being willing to share, and know that for any of you that are thinking about this and you resonated with the experiences of Alicia and Karen, that all of that is possible for you and more. So know that I'm here for you, holding that space and holding that vision, that there's still time for you to sign up for the Love Your Body 8-week program, which is launching on January 28th, and your $100 off coupon still is valid through this Friday. If you're having questions about the program, you want to know if it's a good fit for you, or you feel like you have some resistance or challenges coming up, just reach out to me. I'm here for you. I'd be happy to support you, and I'm sure the ladies in this group who have participated in it would be happy to answer your questions as well. So yeah, if you are ready to make peace with your body and food and experience that liberation and that ability to tune in and listen to your body with agency and autonomy, we would love to have you be a part of that group. So I will post a link again for you to just check out more information in the description of this video as well as the comment section. And that is it, my friends. Thank you again, Alicia and Karen, for everything you shared. Thank you to those of you who showed up and watched live. Share with us your celebrations in the comment section. I want to know what you are celebrating in 2018. And yeah, stay tuned for more. Mwah! Bye, everyone.